Gaffer, 2 wins in a row now. Does it really feel like some consistency is starting to build here?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, coming off the back of 2 really good results, performance has got better. I thought we were really, really good first half against Crawley, and then we had to show a side of us to dig in. The second half on Saturday, they had a lot of the ball, but I thought we defended really, really well. Will, come up trumps when we needed him to come up trumps, and delighted that we got over the line. But obviously, really, really pleased.
I mean, overall, I'm sure you'd have wanted for a better start to the season, but was it always going to be like this with so much turnover in the summer? Was it naturally going to take this little bump together?
100%. We've brought in 18 players now, I think it is. Which is a ridiculous number, really. You'll probably look at other clubs we've got but 2 or 3 in. And to lose the players that we did lose as well, has been tough, and we've had really bad luck in terms of injuries and suspensions as well through that period. So it's no coincidence that we kind of get most of our squad back together, or we get a settled squad the last couple of weeks, and we start winning games of football. We've got good training numbers now. So sorry that it's been great the last couple of weeks. Like, the work on the training pitch, having that kind of consistency within the team as well helps, and hopefully we can keep it going onto Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, with the last few weeks, the team's starting to become quite consistent now in terms of the faces we're seeing in that starting lineup. Is that a really big thing for you to have that, ideal 11?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, obviously it's great when you win games of football if you can keep the same 11. I don't think we've done that in the Notts County game, and after the Colchester game we won. I think the team changed because of various things, injuries or suspensions or whatever. So it's nice to kind of have that consistency back. And like I keep saying, you're in the team, you got to keep your shirt. If you're not in the team, you do everything on the training pitch, or when you get opportunities within the game, to go and get that shirt back. So that's been great, and like I said, it's no coincidence that we're starting to get players back, and have that consistency within the squad, that we're starting to pick up decent performances and results.
And speaking of competition, new face in the building this week, Charlie Macan. How's that one come about?
Yeah, I've known of Charlie for quite a while now. Obviously, he's a Cov lad. He's had some obviously big moves over the years, so I always knew his quality. But I think the last couple of months we've had dialogue with him. He's been close a couple of times, but whatever's happened has happened, and we haven't managed to get it over the line. And I think there was an opportunity a couple of weeks ago for him to come in and have a look. Probably when we were quite thin within the squad, and the owner's been brilliant, enabling us to get, that's got to be a fine, isn't it? That's me. Enabling us to bring someone else in. I think he just offers something different. Like, we lost, obviously, like Keane Spence, we lost goals last season from midfield. Charlie scored 11 last year. His goal contributions with that's assists, etc., are right up there in the National League, and he's playing League One, League Two the last 2 or 3 years. So we know his quality. I think when he gets up to speed, he'll be a great addition to the squad.
In terms of additional team news, it's pretty nice to have a bit of positivity. Rax with some minutes the other day, and of course Mike back in the building as well.
Yeah, brilliant. It's great to see obviously Rax get some minutes. Again, we've still struggled this week. We've that illness has kind of lingered around. We had to take a couple of players off on Tuesday because of it. 1 or 2 have missed even today's training because of it. So he's still lingering around, but what was good though to have that kind of game in there gave Rax the opportunity and others to get some minutes into their legs. Obviously Charlie and Michael, which is great, have been in this week as well to train. So we're not a million miles away from having a really, really strong squad with loads of options there. We've got some tough games, and obviously Tuesday games and that coming up. So we're going to need everybody. So it's great to kind of add that. Like I said, it just even in training, instead of you playing left wing and the kit man playing right wing, we've actually got numbers to do 11v11 at the moment, which is great, and that's really drove the standards up in training as well. So hopefully long may that continue.
In terms of Mike, like I said, it's the first time he's been in the building since the very start of pre-season. How long do you anticipate for him to be able to get that match sharpness?
Yeah, well, he's first week back with us, he's worked really hard in terms of at Watford. So again, I think he's in the same sort of camp as Charlie. Will there be opportunities in the next couple of weeks to get minutes? Obviously, we'll look at that. Saturday might be a bit too early, but other than that, they're good to go in terms of their fit and training, playing. But again, it's just being mindful of the fact whereas before we'd have had no choice, just to chuck them in at the deep end and they've had to play because we've just not had the squad. Whereas, nicely, we're quite fortunate at the minute to have decent numbers, and we don't have to rush them. We can get them as fit as we can do, sort of here at the training ground, and getting them minutes here and there. And I think they'll be like I said with Charlie and Michael. That's two real good players to come in and add to what we've got.
And this weekend, Shrewsbury up. Obviously a League One team last season, so we'll have a lot of talent in that squad. Does it just feel like they're probably waiting for that chance to get that first result and kick-start the season?
Absolutely. Like us against Crewe the other week, I remember the Crewe manager was sort of, he needed a result and he got a result Saturday. It's probably the same as Michael Appleton on Saturday. And Shrewsbury, they've got some really good players. They play really, really well in games. It just probably hasn't clicked for them, or it just hasn't had the rub of the green for them at the moment. So, especially with a top manager like Michael Appleton, like for me, I probably wouldn't be a manager without him. He retired me, unfortunately, when I played when I was at Oxford, but fortunately he gave me a coaching job within the setup there. My sort of office was next door to his, and I was in and around it, and I think that's why I wanted to be a manager, because of someone like him who's a top coach, obviously fantastic person as well. So I'm sure, hopefully not on Saturday, but he'll get the results that they need for them to get out of where they are at the moment. You look at their team and squad, they've got some real good players. So we have to be really mindful of the quality they've got. But we just have to continue what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. The performances have got better, obviously results have got better. Playing in front of our home crowd, I think in a sort of a yellow warning, weather yellow warning, which will be no surprise up in Barrow. So we have to play to those conditions as well. Be mindful of that, like we did last week against Crewe. And I think hopefully the confidence we've had the last two games, we can go, get, obviously with the crowd with us, get going again and hopefully win another game of football.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.